A lot of craziness in the past couple of days. Markets dropped. Elon's been fudding, and Elon's been pumping and dumping, and Twitter's been insane. I've had 4 days off. I didn't really spend much time online, and so coming online today, discussing recent events with a couple of people. I think there's a couple of lessons to be learned, and I want to share a couple of those and hopefully give you some insights on what I think happened, what I think is going to happen. So stay tuned. Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you crypto fit. I discuss the beautiful, mostly beautiful world of decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, most of all Bitcoin. I guess today it is a lot about Bitcoin. It is about FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It is about FOMO, fear of missing out. It's about a lot of the craziness, especially over the past couple of days that we've seen in this world of cryptocurrencies. As mentioned in the intro, I wasn't online much. And so for me, it's always curious to kind of look back and see, hey, the world's still turning. Bitcoin still exists. Crypto is still there. My company Cake is still there. We're doing well. I'm alive. My son is alive. My wife is alive. We're healthy. We are fine. And so, yeah, it's always interesting to kind of reflect on that. Hey, before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel, click subscribe. On Twitter, follow. On LinkedIn, follow. On the podcast, don't forget to subscribe. And then obviously, do me a favor, click an upvote, give me a heart, give me a like, support the reach so that more people get to hear about this. Thanks so much. Thanks tons. So let's dive in. I'm going to give you a couple lessons and obviously really kind of highlight a few of those super important things. I guess the very, very first lesson in all of this is how people always talk about how they're focused on the long term, how they are investors. But to be honest, most people have zero clue on why they're investing, what are they investing in. They have no freaking idea. They invest because of other people. They invest because the price is going up. They invest because of so many reasons. But you know why they're not investing? They're not investing for the most important reason, because they believe value is there and price is here. And by any kind of law of economics, at some point the price will hit its value. And that is the least reason why people invest. But it's actually the only reason why people should invest. And if that were the case, over the past couple of days, yeah, there would have been a lot of chatter and there would have been a lot of fudding, there would have been a lot of craziness. But you and your friends and Twitter and whatever, the news wouldn't even doubt one little bit about the value of Bitcoin, about the value of Ethereum, about the value of DeFi chain, the value of Doge, the value of whatever coin you're looking at. That is as simple as it gets. Because people would know, okay, one coin is not worth anything at all. Doesn't matter who talks about it or who doesn't talk about it. And another coin is super valuable. Doesn't matter who doesn't like it, who likes it. It's irrelevant. And again, it just highlights why 99% of the people are in this space. They're not in this space because they're qualified investors. They're not in this space because they do a little bit of thinking themselves. They're in this space because their friend is getting rich and they're missing out. And because Elon said that he's investing in X and that's why they're jumping on X. They have no freaking clue for themselves. And it just highlights the entire thing again. And here's the important thing on this though. This is not only the average person. This is most of the influencers. This is most of the media. This is the majority of the people. And that's just absolutely insane. And to be honest, it's probably in any kind of investment that does double-digit returns in a month, right? That's why you don't have these types of people in Berkshire Hathaway. That is relatively boring. It only does 20-30% per year on average. Well, guess how boring that is. Duh, it just makes billionaires, but it's boring, right? That's why it's boring investing in dividend aristocrats and so on, because Most of those things are just darn boring and people don't like it. They don't get their dopamine fix. And that's what just showed the last 4 days again. They don't focus, successful investors don't focus on the price ticker. They focus on the value. And value doesn't just jump up and down. It doesn't. Right? First thing. Second humongous lesson. It all comes down to time horizon. And I wrote an entire book on this topic. And there's a reason to it. When I invest in Bitcoin, when I invest in most of the things, I never have a time horizon of days or weeks. So why would I even care? And I mean this. Over the past couple of days, I played golf. I spent a lot of time with my son. I spent time with my wife. We went on hikes. We went on walks. I did a lot of things. I knew that Elon was posting. I knew Bitcoin was dropping and pumping and I don't know what. But guess what? I just don't care. And I mean this. I don't care, first of all, because I know the value of the coins I invest in. First, Bitcoin, DeFi chain, Ethereum. I know the value of those coins, and it doesn't matter. One person doesn't change my mind on that. The media doesn't change my mind on that. And on top of that, I didn't intend on selling this week anyways. I'm not intending on selling next week. I'm not intending on selling this year. So why do I care? Like literally, why do I care what the price does? Unless you are constantly intending on buying or selling, which I doubt that's what you're intending. You're just reacting. You're not having a plan. You're just purely reacting. Why do you care? The price moves by itself. You don't have to help it move. You don't have to watch TradingView or you don't have to watch the ticker. Unless you're planning on proactively, right? We're not talking about a reaction. We're talking about a proactive step. Losers react, winners plan. They strategize. Never forget that. So I'm not intending to. First of all, I don't care about the price dropping to 40,000. I didn't intend on buying or selling more. I have my stash, that's fine. If you want to buy the dip, buy it. I think it's a great time, but time horizon. I think it's a dangerous time if you buy because you think next week we're going to be on the 50s or in the 60s again. Hey, maybe next week we're in the 30s. Maybe, right? If you're intending to buy with a 4-year time horizon, I think you're going to get one of the best buys ever. Ever. It's the same as a year ago. I'm just overexposed in Bitcoin. I'm overexposed in DeFi chain. I'm overexposed in Ethereum. I'm okay. To me, if those things 10x, hey, fantastic. To me, my goal in financially, I don't know, hopefully, fingers crossed, at some point I'll become a billionaire. That's my financial goal. I don't need to double down on Bitcoin in order to achieve that. If Bitcoin goes where I think it goes, I will achieve that over the next 10 years. That's the kind of time horizon. So why do I need to double down on this? I don't. And I'm not going to leave out anyway either. It's fine, right? I don't need to get rich quick. I'm absolutely fine if this takes a decade. And I get the humor in this. Some people think this is getting rich quick. But I think for most, this is like the slow and path. So it's all about time horizon. Third thing, and maybe stay away from people with short time horizons. Right? Stay away. I think that's the easiest lesson here. Stay away from people with short time horizons. Lesson number 3 here. And I don't know with how many I'm going to go. Lesson number 3, it shows how immature, how juvenile the markets actually are, that they get triggered by one person, by one party going in or out into the market. And yeah, Elon is an important person, but he's not a government. He's not someone that has $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. He just has a Twitter account. And other than that, he doesn't have a crypto company. He doesn't regulate it. He doesn't tax it. It just shows how juvenile the markets are to more or less valid criticism. It's like the criticism he brings up that the Bitcoin mining can be centralized, that some of the Bitcoin holding is centralized, that the opinion leaders are centralized. If you don't understand that, just look at the opinion leading that Blockstream has. It is really, really strong. The energy usage, all these points are valid. And it just shows how juvenile the markets are that they cannot even distill an argument, put an argument apart, and explain why an argument is wrong. No, people can't do it. The only thing they can do is they can attack him, they can call him names, they divert the argument and go and call Tesla or SpaceX a scam. It's absolutely ridiculous. And to be honest, this is probably more of the behavior that's gonna put people off of this entire space rather than Elon trashing Bitcoin. I'm not kidding. If you're an outsider, right? Let's say you're a large investor and you look at this space. Do you think this outsider doesn't expect that this space is going to get attacked by large authorities, by large parties? Don't you think that they're going to look at this and they're like, okay, let me see how these kids are going to react. Oh yeah, right. Exactly like I'm expecting kids to react. They're going to pout and they're going to get angry and they're going to be all emotional. But what they don't do is they don't go and say, okay, Elon, this is what you said. Let me present you the facts. This is what you said. Let me present you the facts. And that's what's missing. And at the end, that's more toxic and that's more problematic than what Elon is doing. And I'm not kidding. And my lesson here for you is stay away from people that do ad hominem attacks. Like literally, when I see that a person that I'm following on Twitter is doing ad hominem attacks at someone else, dude, I unfollow them. I block them. I think this is absolutely low level of anything out there. And you will never see a successful business leader, a successful investor actually doing that. It's just absolutely counterproductive. So just stay away from those people. And then you become more like those people that you associate yourself with someone that can actually distill an argument, can make an argument, can actually explain various points. It's rare, I know, but so is success. And so kind of pick this up. And yeah, I don't know. And probably the last point, and a lot more people, I think, in the space start to realize this, is how toxic maximalism, tribalism actually is. I mean, you just look at the various camps, right? And it doesn't matter. You have the Bitcoin maximalists and you have the Ethereum maximalists. Like at the end, right? We should have crypto maximalists. And to be honest, even crypto maximalism is bad. There is so many ways to success. There's so many ways to successfully transfer value into the future. And at the end, that's what investing is all about. To me, it's absolutely ludicrous when Bitcoin maxis talk about how Bitcoin is the only valuable thing ever out there. It just shows how low their intelligence is in saying that. It's just absolutely incorrect. And it has been shown over and over and over and over and over again. There's many things that transfer value really successfully into the future. It's not only Bitcoin. And that's difficult to grasp for someone that's totally in their own field. But the same can be said about any kind of tribalism and any kind of maximalism. And it's the same thing as nationalism, and it's the same thing as racism. It's always the same thing. And the reasons why people do it are also the same. It's ignorance, it's fear, it's the lack of curiosity, it's the lack of actually experimentation. It's the ultimate statement that you are inferior and you are just not willing to grow, and that's why you're building up all these walls to anything that's outside of your known kind of idea. It's a very typical psychological behavior of inferior thinkers. And it's just absolutely sad to see this in this space. And over the last couple of days, I saw this more than anything else. Shocking. Really. Shocking. And I hope, and that's to me the good lesson here. I hope that more and more people realize what it really takes. What it really takes is not to be dependent on a single person, to decentralize, to have different opinions, respect different opinions. To be honest, it's the same philosophies that we see in society, right? Be accepting of other ideas, be open of other ideas, live and let live. The same concepts. And for some weird reason, libertarians, right? Like all those fake libertarians, that talk about how they are libertarian, but then they don't accept one single other idea, to me, it's just a joke. Raoul Pal on Twitter actually stated it so well, right? One of the very few brilliant minds that actually pushes the space forward, not backwards. And to me, these are the lessons, right? Try to stay away from these people, because I think this would makes the ecosystem better. And at the end, that's what it takes. It takes inclusiveness, not exclusiveness. And it takes so many things that I just seen over the past 4 days where I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, like, I hope over the next 5 years, this space is going to be better than what we've built over the past 5 years. Because that is what the main issue is. And I think a troll like Elon Musk managed to get this out of this entire space. It's just insane. So I think, look, and it's up to us, right? We can do it ourselves. We can do it by saying no to tribalism. We can say no to hate. We can say no to bad ideas and to bad arguments and to distill them, not in a emotional, idiotic way, but by breaking them down, breaking them apart, and showing that it's just not correct. Not a single person on Twitter, Michael Saylor tried, to be honest, but not a single person on Twitter actually went and tried to do it against Elon's criticism. And you can say, Julian, why didn't you do it? You know why I didn't do it? First of all, I didn't care. Seriously, I really don't care what Elon says there. And second of all, I just didn't have any time over the weekend. I didn't care. So I know this might be a cheap argument in saying, hey, what if everyone says that? Yeah, but not everyone does, because there's people who love posting on Twitter and it's not me. So if you do it proper. Couple of thoughts here. So for me, a couple of lessons. Let me know what was your takeaway over the past couple of days. Yeah, I think in 4 years, we're going to see way higher prices than today. I have no clue what the price is going to be in a week. I don't pretend to know. I don't know. And I actually don't care. So that is the entire thing about this. Yeah, by the way, anyone that's a customer at Cake, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I saw our weekly numbers every Monday. We look through our weekly numbers. We've had the biggest inflows measured in Bitcoin over the entire last 7 days, and that in such an emotional time. So it just shows how cash flow from crypto is super important. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yeah, I appreciate that. Links are down below, ideas. I'll see you in the next video. All the best. Stay safe. Bye-bye.